Alright, let's begin. Part 2 is here at the dev update. They said on whatever it was, Thursday, that the part 2 would come out on Monday, and it's here. So, back so soon? Yeah. Oh, this is... what is this? This is all... wait, if you haven't read part 1, you can find it here. Oh, this is all the part 1 stuff. So basically... well, if you want to know what happened in part 1, check my previous YouTube video, but it was some good stuff. A lot of killer changes coming, some decent changes to spirits are coming, some good trapper changes. We know that killer add-ons, other than those two, are getting touched briefly. Other than that, we don't really know very much. We know they're removing all of the considerably and tremendously and all that. So, if you want to know the ins and outs of part 1, check my other video. But for now, let's check part 2. So, Deathslinger. Deathslinger is receiving a number of changes aimed at reducing the frustration of playing against him. Basically the same thing that Spirit had, because, you know, Spirit's really annoying, so they made her less annoying. Deathslinger's really annoying, so they make him less annoying. Basically, you can't quickscope, which is great. It's honestly a really, really good change. Quickscoping is horrible. The quickscoping has zero counterplay at all. If you quickscope... well, actually, in this bit here, it actually talks about it, where it's a lose-lose situation for a survivor. If he quickscopes you, you're gonna get hit. If he just fakes the power, you get hit. It's a lose-lose. You know, like the example they use is the window vault. If you go for the window vault, you get hit. If you fake the window because you know he's gonna shoot, he just cancels the power, you get hit. They've added a delay as well after cancelling a shot, so getting out of your aim down sight time will take more time, sorry. So again, just adds more counterplay. Means you've got to be a better shot, means you've actually got to learn how to aim properly with this guy before shooting. It will make him harder to play on console, but I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? It doesn't matter. As long as the frustration of him goes down, you'll be fine on console. It's an FPS. It's like playing an FPS game. They've decreased the movement speed penalty, though, while aiming down sights, which I don't really get, but they wanted to have some sort of buff to not completely anger people. But this is a good change. Less frustration is good. Less frustration is always good. Having something fun to play against is the primary thing that they should focus on with this game, so they're kind of doing that with this. Great change. They've also upped his heartbeat to 32, which is great because, well, now you can't stealth with him. Deathslinger was the best stealth killer in the game. Like, not even a meme. You put M&A on him, best stealth killer in the game. You can just sneak up to people, easy shot, easy down. You now cannot reduce your heartbeat beyond the range of the gun, which means that you now know he's coming. So great, good. Again, good change. Very, very good change. Also, they've buffed his really bad add-ons. So, again, honestly, none of this is bad. None of this, to me, is bad. This is all good. Everyone will go, yeah, but he's not a very strong killer anyway. His kill rates are really low, and it doesn't matter. I don't care about the killer's kill rates. I don't care. I don't care about kill rates. I care about fun. If a killer's not fun to play against, you change him. I don't care about how well they do. I just don't. Like, Nerf could have a... like, Nurse has got a really high... well, she's got a really low kill rate, but a good Nurse is still fun to play against, at least in my opinion. A good Nurse, not a slugging Nurse. You know, who cares that you're gonna die? She's fun to play against. This doesn't matter if you escape or die. This is not fun to play against. So this change will make it a lot better. A lot better. So we'll see how it plays out. Obviously, this is just how it's written down, but we'll see how it plays out in the PCB. But I'm expecting it to be a lot better. I'm not sure it'll be good enough to play, because, like, they try and do this a lot with killers, but it often doesn't work. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But initial impression, good change. Plague. Plague's not changed at all since she's come out. Pretty much. They've done, like, odd add-on change, I think. Have they even touched Plague? Basically, they want to make it more fun to play, because Plague is very dull to play. In case you hadn't noticed. At least I find her very dull to play. So they look at infecting objects. So objects are infected for longer now, 40 seconds instead of 35, and there's an additional penalty when they're infected and you touch them, so now it's really not worth interacting with them. Well, it's a gamble, it's up to you, but it's less worth just powering through it when it's already infected. So that's good. Might make shooting things more worth it, because right now shooting things as Plague is pointless. It just really is. It really, really is. Unless you use double add-ons for it, it's pointless. So, good. Now, Vile Purge. We've upped the movement speed to 3.6, which, I don't know about that. Vile Purge was already quite oppressive. And there doesn't appear to be any change to make it less oppressive. I don't like the way Vile Purge... I don't like the way Plague works. I don't like Plague. I think her power is a bit like trying to put a hose pipe back in a cupboard. It doesn't work for me, her power. I don't like her at all. I would rework, honestly, the entire way. Works for me, but that's a lot of work, and they clearly are just touching numbers again. So, yeah. But for what they've set out to do of change this killer but don't touch mechanics, just change numbers, it works, you know? Like, this is all just number tweaking, all of this again. There's nothing recoded or reworked here. So, like, with the design philosophy they've set out to do, which is make her more fun but only tweak numbers, this works better, but there are some things you just can't fix with number tweaks, and I think Plague, to me, is one of them. I'm not a Plague main, so if you're a Plague player, let me know what you think of this. I'm not a Plague player. This doesn't fix why I don't like Plague. But it's a good change. I can't deny it's a good change. It's not the change I want. I'd like the entire power to work differently, or make controlling the Plague not feel like I'm trying to put a hose pipe back on a cupboard while it's still on, you know, because it does. Because the way it works is it looks like it's a single stream of puke that comes out of a mouth. It's not. It's tiny little balls, and if you spin in a circle, then the balls can go in between survivors. Like, if you adjust quickly, the balls can actually go between the survivor. It's quite hard to visualize, but they're little not cylinders, little spheres, the hitboxes of the puke, so you can actually shoot through people and it won't hit them. I just don't like it. I don't like Plague at all, so cool, but yeah. And they've changed the time to cleanse to 8 seconds. I guess this is because they nerfed healing a long time ago and then never touched Plague, so Plague was always just... Because healing used to be 12 seconds, and this is half of healing. Healing is now 16 seconds, so now it's up to 8 because it's half of healing. So basically, this is a long overdue change that should have happened when healing got changed. And they've changed the power to look a bit like Huntress. So basically, when you tap the hatchet button, you'll pull up your hatchet to a little bit and then put it away. Whereas with Plague, it just cancelled and you got slowed down massively. So this is all good, and then combined with this change as well, it won't feel as much like hitting a brick wall when you cancel your power, which is quite nice because the movement speed felt awful. Cancelling your power really did just feel like running into a brick wall face first. It did. So this is good. Very good, actually. I'm okay with both of these changes, to be honest. And they've done some add-ons, so we've got this one, which is actually quite a nice add-on. As much as I was just bashing Plague, this add-on is quite nice. You're all going to read it and go, wow, this is horrible. Why would I not want to Vile Purge people? Sorry, not Vile Purge. You get what I mean. Yeah, why not want to Vile Purge people? So this is an add-on where it's entirely focused around infecting objects gameplay. Something that we've not had with Plague. This is a completely different way of playing Plague, and I'm all for add-ons that change play styles. So now, rather than infecting survivors, you have to infect objects, and objects are infected for 80 seconds. So that's an entire gen length infected. So if you hit a gen, they have to work through that infection. So it's actually a really nice change. Good add-on, in my opinion. Well, not good, but interesting add-on. And it also infects them twice as fast as well. So to me, nice add-on. Nice idea of an add-on. Rather than hitting survivors, you hit objects. So I'm all for it. And then there's another one, which is cleansing at a fountain, has their aura revealed for 4 seconds, which is a brown. Quite a strong brown. Although they might... I guess it's brown because you don't have to cleanse versus Plague, but quite a strong brown, if you ask me. Decently strong. Ooh. Okay, thank you for that. Moving on, we've got the survivors. No changes to the add-ons, but basically they've got rid of this rubbish out of the text. So, cool. Quick change, but good change. Perk updates, more perks. Windows of Opportunity has no cooldown like Zanshin, so that's going to be used quite a lot, actually, I think, because the cooldown really frustrated me. I just hate unnecessary cooldowns on perks. Repressed Alliance, I'll be honest, I'm not sure what this perk does. Hang on a minute, what does this perk do? Hang on a minute. Anyway, so now, well, it activates in less time, I think. I'm gonna look at what this perk does, 1 second. Okay, quick bit of Googling, and it's the anti-pop goes the brain cell perk. So now it takes less of a gen to the anti-pop goes the brain cell. So, you know, good, then. Screw you and your pop goes the weasel. Enough said. Built to last. Now, whenever you're hiding in a locker, well, hiding in a locker for 12 seconds with a depleted item in your hand causes it to refill 99% of its charges. Each use of Built to Last reduces the number of charges refilled by a third. Wow, what a change. Love it. I mean, everyone's gonna go, whoa, that's quite strong. Good, we need more options of strong perks. Again, like I said in the previous video, you have to nerf what's already there, otherwise you will create a power creep. But, good. We've got some options now. Maybe we can just, again, nerf Dead Hard and Pop, and maybe we'll be going somewhere. Anyway, any means necessary. They've changed it in a way I don't agree with. Previously, we reduced the cooldown, and we saw more start to use it, so now we've added aura reading on all drop pallets. This way, as soon as it's ready, you'll know exactly where you can use it. When I say I don't agree with this change, I think it's a great change. Being able to see pallets is great. It's great. But the issue for me is that this perk still has a cooldown. Why does this perk have a cooldown? Are you telling me that there's really 5 pallets in a 30-meter radius that need pulling up? And if there are, who cares? Break them. It's your job as killer. So if it was down to me, the tiers wouldn't reduce the cooldown. The tiers would affect how quickly you can pull up the pallets. I suppose that's an editable value, knowing this game's code. So I would make tier 1, 2, and 3 affect how quickly you pull up the pallets. Or, now that they've done this, tier 1, 2, and 3 could be how far you see the auras. And it wouldn't have a cooldown, because the cooldown's silly. But, you know, good change, but get rid of the cooldown behavior. Get rid of the cooldown, please. Now we got Normala. Grunts of Pain is now 75%. Why they couldn't have made that 100, I'll never know. And it's now got an unbreakable effect, meaning that I'm pretty sure that's actually that's over 100% increased recovery, right? Because isn't unbreakable 85 now? I think it's 85 now. Which means that you can now recover very, very, very quickly with No Miler, but still pretty useless. Yes, we know it's a hard mode perk, so that's why I didn't make it obscene, but I'm pretty sure that makes you over 100% faster recovery now. Good change. That could be 100 though, although I guess you could argue it's now no longer a hard mode perk if that's 100. There's still blood. I don't know. Good change at the very least. This one's a tricky one, because there's two teams, you know, there's Team Buff It, make it good, and there's Team Keep It a hard mode perk. So I suppose they're just doing this to please both teams. Next, we've got Fearmongerer, or Mindbreaker, as it's called for those of you that own the Stranger Things DLC. Simple one. Survivors that work on gens are now also blinded as well as exhausted. Okay. I mean, yeah, it makes it more appealing, I suppose. Yeah. Next, we have a massive hatch change. Hatch, and by extension keys, have been very contentious topics and have led to some very heated debates. Yes, they have. First off, the hatch will no longer spawn if there is more than one survivor in the trial. Now, this is a very big change that I want to talk about in a lot more detail, but initial impressions... yeah? It's basically what I wanted, but not quite the way I wanted. I'll explain, like I said. Additionally, the hatch will now take a few seconds to open with a key once it's closed. This was my idea, and they've stolen it from me. Hell yeah, great change. Yes, although progress does not reset, which is a bit iffy because then you could 99 it and then jump in. This is the thing with behavior. They always get so close and then just go, we'll not do that. This eliminates the problem where survivors can simply sprint straight to the hatch and open it and escape. But it doesn't eliminate that because progress doesn't reset. Although I suppose you could argue that it does eliminate it because the hatch only spawns when there's one survivor left in the trial. And unless the survivor's being then this doesn't apply. So I suppose technically it does eliminate it, although if it was down to me, it should reset. And then they changed the achievement to make it possible still because of all that. Now, I agree with this, but I also don't. I personally, this is a very unpopular opinion and I'm aware of this, honestly, I don't care. That's why you're here. I haven't got an issue with multiple survivors escaping in the hatch at one time. Not massively, anyway. The issue I have is purely when they do it in mid-chase. That being said, I very much welcome this change because it is, I'll admit, it is a little bit frustrating. So what my idea was the hatch would spawn on the map, and then once the second to last survivor dies, the hatch moves location. That way, it's a true 50-50 with the exit gates. Although now, since the hatch only appears when the last survivor's on the map, the same thing sort of happens. I have no issue with exit gate spawning. Everyone always goes to me, wow, gates spawning together is really unfair on the survivor because they just die. That's how are you supposed to escape in a 1v1? And to that I answer, it's supposed to be unfair. I found the hatch first as killer. I won the 50-50, and now that the hatch only appears when one survivor's left, it is now a true 50-50. Meaning, exactly that. If I find the hatch first, you die. In fact, you don't die. You have a chance of getting out through the exit gate, but more often than not, you die. If you find the hatch first, you live. Neither one of us knows what the hatch is because it doesn't spawn until there's one survivor left alive, meaning it's a true 50-50 because before I could just scout it out as killer and it was a bit lame, which is where the argument came from because it's not a true 50-50 because I can just find it as killer with no punishment, whereas survivor, you have to look around the map and you could get found by the killer and killed. So now all of that's gone. It's now a true 50-50, unless there's an offering, but why would you do that now? If I find the hatch first, you're probably going to die. If you find the hatch first, you get out. Great change all round. Everyone, a lot of people are going to hate this. A lot of people liked this achievement. This is a really good change. All round, great change. It's not quite what I wanted, but at the same time, very good change. This, blah, blah. Maybe not, but since it's only one survivor, probably I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Boon totems. TLDR, it's a survivor hex perk. You interact with a totem, it becomes boon. I can hear it as killer, I can turn it back to a dull. That's basically it. No information about what these perks might be. I'm assuming I'm assuming what's gonna happen, since in case you were unaware, they teased a new survivor on Saturday, which they haven't mentioned, by the way, in this dev update at all. Very surprised they didn't mention the survivor. I'm assuming this is going to be like Hag. When they added Hag came with 3 hex perks. I'm assuming that the new survivor is going to come with 3 boon perks, is my assumption, but at least 1 boon perk. So, yeah, that's what's going to happen, I'm assuming. And they say it'll be available in next week's PTB. I was expecting the PTB to be on Tuesday, but it says next week, meaning it could be a week Tuesday. Ugh, that's a long time to wait. And they said all the changes mentioned will be in next PTB and more, which is the survivor. But it's not all the changes, because this wouldn't be behavior without them screwing something up. We are thrilled to see such a positive reaction to the first dev update. but we've made a small update to something we announced in part 1. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, the spirit won't kick up dust while phasing. And it says, until further notice, which is behavior's way of saying never. Or if it isn't never, at least 3 months. Probably maybe even 6 months. Knowing behavior. The directional audio will still be there. No. Just, this is bad. All of this is bad. No. No. You can't... Oh, God. Just no. Honestly, just no. And then the worst bit, we will monitor the feedback and see if this change is even necessary. Behavior, this change is necessary. Giving survivors an audio and a visual clue to where the killer is, it's much better for accessibility. Say you're deaf or have hard of hearing, you're now screwed because you now can't see the spirit's footsteps. We're now back to where we were. And B, just in general, even if you aren't deaf or have hard of hearing, audio plus visual feedback is just better game design all around for all things, and that's how it always works in any video game. So, all around, not happy. I'm very not happy. I'm assuming Reddit has just rejoiced and popped champagne. Hey, they've finally backed down. They're not nerfing Spirit. Hey! No. Just no. Just no. Apart from this, very happy. I'm very, very happy. Apart from that could just have no cooldown. But very happy for the most part. Again. But, like, honestly, these are minor things. Not this. This is not minor. But apart from this is all minor things I'm not happy with. This is a very, very big change from the behavior we're getting used to. And I'm all for it, and I hope this continues, because this is very, very, very good, and I'm very, very happy with the changes, for the most part. Very positive things. Good patch is coming, and that's very rare to say. The last Mitch chapter was solid, that was the quality of life one. This one looks solid, so all around, I'm hoping this attitude continues, and if it does, we might actually get somewhere with this game. We might get somewhere. All we need now is some meta changes, because it's all well and good buffing perks, but we need some nerfs as well to really shake the meta up. But for the most part, fantastic. And when you think of the changes, I think this is great. I think for the most part, this is great. Honestly, all of this is absolutely fantastic. Can't wait for the patch. Cannot wait to try this out. Shame about the spirit. Her feet not kicking up dust. That's a shame. In fact, it's more than a shame. It's disappointing. But apart from that, let me know what you think. So yeah, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be live streaming later today, assuming the video goes up today, which it should. I'll be live later today. Come and check out the stream, and I will catch you in the next one, everybody. Later. Stop the presses. I was midway through rendering out that video about the dev update, and then Behavior tweeted out 2 pig add-ons. And then we'll start with the Myers add-on because, you know, we'll get to these. Vanity Mirror. Evil Within 2 reveals survivors' auras within 16 meters. Evil Within cannot progress past tier 2. What does this do that's different? Each hit is a 100% blood points in brutality, and what is different with this? Am I missing something? Actually thinking about it, did Vanity Mirror reduce your movement speed? Wait a second, this might be different actually. I think Vanity Mirror may have previously reduced your movement speed. So, okay, I don't know what that does, but I'm gonna assume that the previous version reduced your movement speed, so here we are. Now we move on to the spicy stuff. There are 2 new pig add-ons, so it means my prediction was wrong. It's not just number changes with pig, there are some actual new add-ons. But there is some interesting things as well, which I've noticed. First off, interlocking razor, which is a brown now, in case you were wondering. That's now brown. Failing a jigsaw box skill check while injured will inflict deep wound on survivors. Boring, if you ask me. Boring. Useless as well, actually, because deep wound... Ooh, maybe not. Boring, but on the next search of the box, the following box, you've got amend, which is kind of cool, although with the way deep wound works, you can search an entire saw box without having to mend, so... blah, this would be cool if deep wound wasn't in a garbage state. Blah, I mean, it's alright. And then we've got the more spicier one, which I kind of care about more. Videotape is an ultra rare, which means my prediction I said, I'm not sure if it was on YouTube or on stream, I called that they would change videotape because videotape was obscenely strong. What I didn't predict was that they were going to just change its rarity. I was going to say nerf it. They've not nerfed it. What I didn't predict was that they were just going to change its entire ability and rarity, and survivors begin the trial with the reverse bear traps installed, which I'm assuming means Pig has none on her. So I'm assuming that, it doesn't say it in the add-on, mind you, but I'm assuming that that means Pig isn't carrying any. So all 4 of your add-ons are, well, all 4 of your traps are on survivors at the start. Basically, it's corrupt, intervention, but the add-on, the way this is worded, that's basically it. That's how I see it. Unless if you've got 4 traps on you, that'd be insane. It'll be crazy. I don't see it. The other thing to note is that it's ultra rare, which means that one of the 2 ultra rare add-ons, or both even, aren't ultra rare anymore, which could mean we've got a much larger Pig change than we originally thought. Other thing to note. Maybe they've just shifted them around, so maybe they have to keep the artwork and the names because licensing. So maybe, I don't know. I'm assuming they've messed with I can't remember his name now. The one that's not Amanda's letter, rule set number 2. I'm assuming that that's now not ultra rare, and maybe that's got a new ability, maybe it doesn't have a new ability. Either way, I'm assuming that one's now not ultra rare. Maybe they're both not ultra rare. Hell, Tamper Timer could be ultra rare now. Massive questions about what the rest of the add-ons are now. It means I'm very excited about tomorrow, because another thing I've noticed since I rendered that video, I'm not editing it, I can't be bothered. This video needs to go out today. The dev post said, when I read it out earlier, that the patch was next week. The patch is tomorrow. So, yeah. Very, very excited now. Gonna do a lengthy video about Pig's add-ons when they come out. Will have to update my perk guide. I've got so much work to do now thinking about this. Oh my god, I've got so much work to do with the Pig guide. Good lord. What do you want? Do you want me to upload do you want me to do what I did before with the perks and just upload, hey, here's add-ons updated, or do you want me to edit the actual guide? Editing the guide will be harder, because I'm not sure I still have the original files. I'll have to look into that. But this is very, 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 very exciting. This isn't... what I really hope is that we've got more dash add-ons, because the thing that I've noticed is that both add-ons they've shown are new trap add-ons, which is kind of scary. I really hope that we've got dash add-ons. Now that they've done this, for all we know, the status effect add-ons that you know, you get a status effect when you get a helmet on, for all we know, that could be on dash now, and the behavior go, here's some new dash add-ons. There's a lot of possibilities as to what's happening, and it's very, very, very exciting, and I genuinely can't wait until the patch tomorrow. Let me know what you think of everything. Oh my goodness me. We don't just have number tweaks. We've actually got new add-ons. Who'd have thought that was coming along? Certainly not me. Good lord. Let me know what you think of this, and I'm going to return you back to your outro screen that you were experiencing before. Bye. I'll make a video on this tomorrow, and then bye. We'll see you then.